Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to teach you how to put the Huma power upgrade, power plenum, into the R5. If you remember from my R3 power upgrade video, that the Huma is a low profile regulator. And this low profile regulator allows me to take what would normally be the piston housing and turn it into a plenum. So Huma Air makes these for us, and you can increase the power of your R5 30 caliber and run a lower regulator pressure. So currently this system in a standard maxes out at like 875 feet per second with a 4475 grain pellet. I like to shoot them at 900 plus, get a little bit more power, and actually this will allow you to even shoot the 50 grains, and I'll cover that in another video. But currently the regulator is set at 140 to 145 bar at the factory. I personally turn them down to about 125 bar, and that gives me 875. It's a little bit less noise, but with this I'm able to turn it down to 120 bar, almost completely remove all of the mechanical noise that you have from the valve being hit by the hammer, and run the pellet at 900 feet per second. So it's really simple. So if you remember from my other video, I'm just going to show you really quickly how to take it apart. Weak side of the gun faced away, counterclockwise. Go ahead and loosen the screw. As soon as it's loosened, push the screw down to the bottom. I'll use a different tool so you guys can see me operate here. Slide this over. Okay, so you're just going to go ahead and give it a nice little snug tight. Now, turn it up on its side. And now, you're going to use your 2mm hex head and drain it. Okay, when it gets to the end, I'm just going to push on the valve a little bit and make sure all the air is drained out. And there shouldn't be any resistance when you're unscrewing this. And as I mentioned before, oftentimes the regulator, and this time the regulator and plenum stayed in. So I'm just going to use a little bit of air. Okay, so here's the regulator, plenum, and valve housing. So all you're going to do is take the top part of the regulator off. Very simple. Put it in your toolbox. As you can see here, it's marked at 140. And this is just a press fit. Oops. So remember that it doesn't need to be threaded in. Oftentimes this regulator stays inside the air tube anyways. So this press fits because there's 250, 300 bar sitting on top of here. So believe me, it will not go anywhere. It has nowhere to go. And as always, grab a little bit of super lube or something similar. As I said before, I prefer super lube because of its properties. And you really want to give this a pretty decent coating of lubricant on the O-rings. So you're just going to place your fingers, kind of hold it together, and I like to kind of just gently as possible push it past the threads, and then go ahead and tighten it. Make sure the valve housing is bottomed all the way out. As I said before, I set this regulator at 120, and I should probably show you guys how to set it real quickly. I have another one here. So on top, you may see this little screw right here. This is actually adjust how fast the regulator fills. For me, because I'm a hunter, I completely remove mine because I may want a quick follow-up shot, and I don't find this thing to be necessary at all. But if you want to keep it in there, you're going to have to remove it. Take a screwdriver, and you're going to adjust there's a little small marking on here, and as you can see, these are all marked with the regulator pressure. So you're just going to pick your desired pressure. Now what I usually do, atmospheric breathing hole, right there. And sometimes I'll put this right next to my cheek or run my finger over there and make sure that I didn't cut any of the O-rings when I put it in, so that I don't have to retake it apart. And this sounds good. So let's go ahead and put the gun back together. So again, turn it on its side, O-ring down, slide it in. Make sure your gun is cocked, it's much easier. And if you tilt it a little bit, it'll slide right in. Okay, make sure this part is flush to the action. And you're going to loosen, pull it up, tighten the sled, and then I like to give it a little snugging with a decent tool. And make sure. Alright, let's go put it on the bench and see what kind of speed it'll do. Alright, so here we are at the bench. I thought this would be an awesome opportunity to show you how much more velocity the Huma system will give you without changing anything. So if you watched my other video, you saw that I was shooting about 875 with a 44 grain pellet, 44.75, excuse me. And I haven't changed anything on the hammer spring tensioner. All I've done is just added the Huma power kit at 120 bar. So we'll go ahead and zoom in on my chronograph. Pay no attention to my super fancy pellet trap back there. I know you guys are all jealous of the high-tech equipment that I have. A little test shot here. 902. 898. Let me tell you, with 30 caliber pellets from JSB, having an extreme spread like what you just saw right there, quick little shot, just goes to show you how great the Huma works. So I'm impressed, and I think this is going to be a good addition. I mean, what an amazing gun. Less than 30 inches and full 900 foot per second. I mean, it's like 80 foot-pounds, so awesome.